Hey guys, Mike from FIGS. Pretty excited today because we have production parts. This is our Underplate production version. It's got some additional features like these mounting tabs. We modified them to make them jog a little bit easier. So we've got a little bit of extended flex zones, and we opened up the tow hook area a little bit more, and then we shifted the fold out plate so that it's easier to engage the tow hook. It's more aligned in the center. And yeah, we're gonna put this guy on, and then we can start shipping these out to those that ordered it in the first production lot here. We just had some snow yesterday, so that hung up final test fitting, but it's about 60 degrees, fresh thaw. Some of the tools you'll need: impact driver with an M10 extension on it, and I've got a little plastic pry tool for folding in the vents, but you can also just use your hand with a glove, and then a stubby flathead. So first thing you're going to look at is making sure that these tabs are free, that they flex easily, and if you can look at the two bend lines, we're actually going to create a jog when we install them. But just a sanity check before you get it on. They may need a little bit of help. And here we transfer the plastic clips again for the bumper mount, and those are factory ones in the lighter color, and then our car had a aftermarket clip on there as well, but they both fit. So this is a look at just the previous prototype. We still have those folded tabs in there. You can see where the tow hook was a little bit more forward, and we had a little bit of bias in the tow hook opening. So the new one just moves that opening back towards where the bend line is, and also gives a little bit more tolerance if your tow hooks were bent from tie down. And here's just initial installation. We've slid it from the back forward, and we've hand tightened those two rear mounting locations. And a little wide angle view here. You're just gonna side align all of your front bumper mount holes. If you need to shift it to the left or right, and there's a little bit of tolerance to move this thing around and get it centered. And then we're just gonna hand tighten the screws to mount that bumper hole, so you can see it kind of shift it from the left to the right. And then once they're aligned, you're just gonna be able to hand tighten those screws into the locations. Here's that oil drain plug window, again towards the back. And you just really want to take your time to make sure everything is lined up at this point. So here we've got all the screws hand tightened, hand aligned, and then we can go ahead and do the full tightening with this set of screws in with the impact driver. Now these are just plastic clips, so we're not trying to over tighten them super extreme or anything like that. We just want it to be snug. And then these screws, the combination of all the screws, are gonna be able to hold the weight. The rear ones by far take most of the load, so those are actually more substantial inserts. They will kind of tighten really snug. The other side mounts are actually going to be more related to enclosing the airflow, but these tabs are flat as they come, and then you're going to fold them inward, and that's where you can either do it just by tightening the screw. That should bend it adequately, but if you wanted to, you could kind of pre-bend them outside of the car just before you do it, but you'll just again line up the hole by feel, and you'll find it might be a little bit misaligned, but as you tighten it down, it should bend that tab. We can just use the impact driver to kind of tighten it down. Again, not too tight. It can't really hold a lot of load on that screw, but you can see that folded inward. And this is where, if you really want to get it flush, it matches the angle pretty good here. But if you really want to get it flush, you can press on that leading edge with a small flathead screwdriver, and that will get it completely flush. So alternate method, once it's bent in, loosen the screw a little bit, take a little bit of the load off, and just get a stubby flathead screwdriver. Just hit that first bend line, just put enough pressure to just fold it in the rest of the way. And these bend structures and kind of how they're laser cut, I mean, they're compliant, but they do take a little bit of force, so be patient. Put a little bit of force in the right place and it should conform just to be a perfect presentation on that enclosure. And then once that's done, you're just going to go ahead and tighten it again. Just repeat on both sides, and that's pretty much the final installation. This thing is fully installed at this point, and now we can go ahead and bend or activate the vents. And we're going to do that simply by using our index finger and our thumb. You can start by just pushing in the leading edge if you want. And just start it out that way. You get a little bit more control if you turn your hand and kind of balance on the middle, and then just pivot it with a combination of your thumb and the knuckle of your finger. And we're shooting for a 15-degree angle here. That's kind of the ideal angle to get airflow without a lot of separation in the wake zone, which is behind the vent. So we're trying to draw air out of here smoothly, not create turbulence. So we just need a little bit of angle to create that draft. Most airflow is going to want to flow downward out of the engine, so this is going to help pull the airflow out of the engine bay. And again, I just want to say thanks to everybody that made this happen. We can't do this without our customers. I think this product came out pretty awesome. I'm really happy with all the design features of it, but it does take time, and we do need your support to make these things come to light. So thanks again, follow our channel, and stay tuned for more updates.